it's Kate from Wild Tales of. Hope you're having an amazing day. We are just about to head outside actually for a walk, which I thought I would bring you along on. It's just one of our regular afternoon walks. If you have watched some of our videos before, you might know that we have a routine of every weekday. When Slay gets home from work, we head out for a walk, a family walk, as long as our schedule allows, and we kind of make it so that our schedule does allow for that routine. Sometimes the kids' sporting events and other school activities get in the way, but that's just our go-to thing, and that really helps us to make sure that we spend time outdoors. We have some time as a family carved out, and of course we get our exercise. Much needed fresh air and exercise for sure. Now, we live in Seattle. It's not as far north as some places, of course, but we are, and it is the winter, and so we are dealing with a lot less daylight. So already getting darker here right now. Let's see, it's about 3:30, and of course it's light when we head out, but by the time we are back, it is completely dark. Try to strive for heading out for a couple of hours. Today's walk is extra special because we get to bring along our neighbor's dog who we are helping out. So you'll see Leo a little later. But before we go, I wanted to share just a couple of the things that we do before we head out on a walk this time of year when we know that it will be dark, either when we're leaving or definitely during the walk and as we head home. Okay, so first off, we do like to make sure that our clothes have some kind of reflective aspect. It doesn't always happen, but I do try to be conscious about the colors that we're wearing so that we're not all just wearing super like neutral or dark clothing. With the kids, that's usually not a problem. A lot of times kids' clothes are really colorful, so that helps. And a lot of times our rain gear or our winter gear, our coats and things like that do have and our shoes have reflective like material just built right in. We do not use a stroller anymore, but I wanted to add that if you have younger kids and they are riding in strollers, there is reflective tape that you can buy, and we did that when the kids were younger. When we had our big baby jogger running stroller, we outfitted it with, we just purchased some reflective tape and put it all over the stroller. Stroller, a lot of times when you're heading to cross the street, the stroller is the first thing that goes, and so it's nice to have some reflective tape on there so that cars can see you. Other than our clothing, the biggest thing that we all have to have before we head out is a light hat. And so I have several different ways that we do that. So let me show you. Started out where my awesome sister-in-law got us one for me and one for Bergen. These are from LL Bean, and they are a nice like technical material hat, and built in right here is a light. So it has a little button back here and you could turn it on. And so when it is getting like dusk, I always flick that on. And it's not so much so that I can see, it's not as much of like a headlamp as much as someone else, a driver, can see me walking along. So it's more to be noticed. And then, so this one's mine. Again, this is from LL Bean. And then Bergen has one that is almost the same, just a different color. And then later on down the line, we got this one for Georgia. And it's awesome because it's yellow, it's super bright already. Hers is a little bit different. You press the button in the middle and it lights up like that. And again, it's not so much as for a flashlight, although it does help you see a little bit, but it's more to be seen. So it's a great hat. And it's also like kind of like, it's nice because we are walking, and so you'll get warm, and it's just made out of that more technical material, so you don't get as hot wearing it. And then what Slade usually does, because he doesn't have a hat like that, is he will just wear his a regular hat, and then he puts a headlamp over it. And obviously those have different settings, and there's lots of different headlamps out there, but he always makes sure that he has that with him. And it's kind of nice to have somebody who has a headlamp, because then as opposed to our light hats, because if we do really need to see something, this will help us out. I wanted to show you a new, Slade and I got some new hats. It's kind of a funny story. The other night, we just happened to be watching Shark Tank. And you ever watch Shark Tank? Sometimes when it's just on and we're finished watching a show, we will just kind of see, just curious to see if the business owners get a deal, and just seeing what, you know, new products and things are out there. And a lady happened to be on there, and she had these really cool hats that she was trying to, you know, partner up with one of the sharks. And we thought, oh, perfect. And actually, she didn't end up getting a deal, but it was good advertising for her, because we actually bought 2 of her hats just because we saw her on Shark Tank. So this is the one, I love this pink color. Anyway, and so it's more of a flashlight in it, but it does have 3 settings, which is cool. And the really cool thing is that you can pop this out. Let's see. Yeah. So you can pop the light out, and then you put it into just your like USB. It's USB, and it charges. So I believe it's a couple of hours of charge. So that's something to think about, because we do have to be conscious of that you can't just like leave it on for hours and hours. But that's our newest purchase that is helping us on our afternoon walks. And so here's Slade's, his is gray. They don't have kid sizes, although I think Bergen would fit fine, but they don't have kid sizes yet. Hopefully in the future she will. And they're called, headlights, and it's with a Z after the T. Sometimes we'll also bring along a flashlight so that we can see more things, and then we're also more visible, because that flashlight is also going to be seen by other drivers. Now, we live in the city, obviously we live in... Oh! Hello. Hello. What are you doing here?
You didn't like the fire like that.
I think I got cut off there with the dog coming in. We're going to get him. But I think I was saying our big thing is just to, since we live in an urban area, we want to be seen by other cars as we're crossing streets and walking along and all of that. And so those are some of the things that we do in order to be safer out there. If you have little tricks, things that you bring along or attach to yourself, let us know. Oh, I think I was also going to say that when we had a dog, we had a little light that we attached to his collar. It had all these different things. I think it reflected and blinked, and then also it just had a regular light that we turned on when it was getting dark. So we're going to head out and come join us on a walk as it gets dark. Do you have a stick?
Yeah.
Is that your stick, Leo?
He wanted a stick.
Can you throw it? Will you go catch it? What is it?
I can see it.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really sad.
Is it low?
Oh my god, I can see it.
Are you serious?
That's the
Seriously?
I see it easier to go back. Right here. It's moving. It's some crows. Right, so you see that 2 limbs that come out? See those 2 limbs that come out? Yeah. Right above it, the moving thing. I find
There's 2 eagles right here.
You find everything second. I was the first place. Why? Because you are the
And I can hear an owl too behind us.
Pack? It's like fur.
See if you can get a piece. Wow, he could see it all falling.
Here's a sample.
Oh, it is a bird.
It's even cooler.
Wow.
It must be like a...
Look at, is it an owl?
No.
Wow, that's so interesting, huh? Ooh, you get a big piece. Bring it over here, let's see.
Touch that bag.
You see? Well, that was a completely different night than we had expected. First, you didn't hear, but we had thunder, which is very rare for Seattle. So that was unexpected. And then it started just downpouring, which we were not expecting. I thought I had heard on the weather forecast that the rain was moving out kind of for the weekend, but apparently not. So there was that. And then we saw the crazy eagle situation. So in the winter, we use our bikes for a drying rack. So we're not exactly sure what was going on with those eagles, but as we were walking along the trail, we were in the Washington Park Arboretum here in Seattle, and we heard the sounds coming, and we weren't sure what animal it was at first, but definitely honed in that it was an eagle. And then we could not locate them exactly. We could kind of see the general direction, and then I think it was Georgia who was able to spot them first. And just with the time of night, it was dusk, and so your eyes, it takes a minute to adjust, and then finally we were able to get a good look at them. But we believe they definitely had some kind of bird that they were feasting on, and I think one of them was kind of more dominant than the other, and it seemed like one of them wanted to get in on the action, and maybe the other one wasn't letting him. Don't know exactly. Definitely made for a more exciting walk than we expected. But anyway, just wanted to take you along on one of our late afternoon or early evening adventures. Hope that you are having a great week. Even though it isn't uncommon to see eagles, I'm always saying that it doesn't matter how often we see them. I always think that it's just so special and feel really lucky that we get to experience that here where we live. Let us know if that's something that you see on a regular basis. Birds of prey like that. I certainly didn't where I grew up on the East Coast. Wasn't a normal thing. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed our adventure, and hopefully sharing some of the things that we do in order to be safe when walking outside was helpful earlier. Let us know in the comments if that's something that you do often, and if you do, what kinds of things do you do in order to make sure that you are staying safe out there. In the meantime, we hope you're staying happy and healthy, and we hope you are getting out and having some brave, wild adventures. We'd love for you to like our video and subscribe, and we will see you next time.